Hey guys! Mom, you might have to turn away for this one because today I'm going to talk about reasons I would get a tattoo and my future plans for tattoos. So I've been clicking back and, of course, using the YouTube machine, I've looked into a lot of video confessional documentary kind of deals of people that regret their tattoos. Now, for me, I've been getting tattooed for 6 years now, and to date, I don't regret any of my tattoos. Even my first tattoo, which I later just changed the coloring a little bit. If I had changed the coloring or I didn't change the coloring, like, I love that tattoo just the same. I just was thinking, oh, I kind of want this coloring instead. But yeah, I did that, and everything's copacetic. And I wanted to get into why I get tattoos or reasons why I would want to get a tattoo, future plans for my tattoo, and all that and on and on. I already discussed my tattoos. Link here for the ones that I do have. I have one on my left foot, I have one on my right foot, and I have one on my back. To the best of my knowledge, and as much as I want to count it, I have 3 tattoos. And I remember when I got my first tattoo, I my first tattoo was lettering. And so I was thinking every letter could count as an individual tattoo. Maybe, and plus the musical notes in between. Like, I was thinking, oh, I have like 25 tattoos. I don't know if it was 25, but like, I have that many. But currently, I am fully accepting that I have 3 tattoos. But starting next year, I plan to have 4 tattoos. And I think that I'm gonna have 5 tattoos by the time I'm done with my tattoos. Of course, that changes. I used to think that, well, I just want 1 tattoo just to show what it feels like, and then that's that. And then I ended up with 3 tattoos. But my main plan now is 5 tattoos, and then I'm done. And so let's talk about reasons behind tattoos. Let's get to know why I get tattooed. It's interesting to note that, like, my first tattoo had to do with somebody and stuff. And then I got my second tattoo, which had less to do with anyone. And then I got my third tattoo, and that was more for me. But I like to encompass it all as the tenets of life, I guess you could call it. The first one being on my right foot, or I guess right foot if you're here, um, is represents integrity to me because, of course, it says follow your feet and like do whatever is true to your heart. On and on that way. I don't want to really get into that, but yeah, integrity, do whatever you think is right, plus music for a million different reasons, but yes. The second one I got, it's kind of different because it's difficult because I went back and forth, but the second one I got was just crescent moon with Love of Dearest underneath, and it's on my back, and that was hands down for me, and just because of what I was going through at the time. And I like to think of that tattoo as representing of love and just love, because it starts out with like self-love kind of, because the tattoo really encompasses what I needed in my life, which is just like I needed to love myself, and that was what my back tattoo was primarily about. But then just like love in general, that's the second tenet. And the third tenet is unity. My third tattoo, I guess you could call it, because again, I told you I went back and forth with my tattoos. Like, I went and jumped back to my first tattoo and did stuff when I went to the tattoo shop. I just jumped around with my tattoos. But the third one is a music hook, which is kind of a inverted upside down treble clef and a bass clef, and that is on my left foot, and it is completely in black, and it represents, of course, yeah, well, I mean, unity. That's the third tenet of life. But that's kind of how I connected them all. I remember talking to a tattoo artist about, like, I want this, this, and this. I was like being specific, but this is what I want. This is my plan. and she was more like, I was like, I want it all to be like this color, and then she was saying, well, it doesn't need to be connected anymore because it's already on you, and that connects it enough. But I was kind of, in the end I didn't go with that tattoo artist because she kind of didn't get what I was trying to explain. But yeah, so far that's me in a nutshell. So far, I don't want to get into my next tattoo because everything's planned, everything's good to go. But yeah, I wanted to tell you that yeah, I'm gonna get another tattoo next year. Um, the store wants me to get it. Well, the shop I was going to wanted me to get it earlier than I was expecting. I wanted to get it next year, but they were like, "Oh, you can come in like today and get it done." But being that so far, what is it, 2016? I 2016 was all about getting stuff done. Like on my resolutions list and stuff, I was like, finish tattoos. So that's what I did. I got my left foot filled in. I cleaned the coloring in my right foot, and I finished my back because my back was basically like crescent moon and writing. And I was like, okay, you know what? I want some candy in there, and I want some clouds. I'm very specific with my tattoos, and if you want to go me to go further into it, I can. Although it sounds quite boring, but I do have like a specific idea in mind, and I so far have gone with that idea. But as I was saying, I have like kind of like the tenets of life going with my tattoo so far. My next tattoo still goes with the tenets of life. That's kind of like how I get tattoos. Some people are like, I don't know how. I don't want to be offensive when I say this, but some people just like say like, oh, I really like band X and I want that symbol on me. And if that's what you want, go ahead. Like when people talk about like, oh, I regret this tattoo, that tattoo. Well, you didn't regret it at the time. You obviously got it because you wanted it at the time, and you shouldn't really regret things. But yeah, if you want that tattoo, if you want this or that, go for it. But I have to say that I'm kind of glad that I didn't get my tattoos when I was 17, because I remember 17, like when I was younger. When I was younger, I'd be, I don't know, I guess I was bored. I was an artist, and so in my agenda, I'd be like drawing things, and certain things that was like ideas for tattoos is basically the header, like tattoo ideas, and so I'd be drawing things. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this, this, and this, and that, and that, and that. Basically, you can also look at my video on called Phantom Tattoos, which is if I got every tattoo that I thought about, I would have a lot of tattoos. I would probably make a video saying like, these are tattoos that I regret, but I guess I had in some way the foresight to not get those tattoos when I wanted them. I'm kind of glad that when you're 18, which is usually the age when you can legally get the tattoos you want, although you can get it younger with parental approval. But yeah, 18, if I had gotten all those tattoos when I was 18, I would have a lot of tattoos that I might regret. I don't know if I would necessarily like, regret them, but I'd be like, I should have thought that one through. A lot of my tattoos, when I'm deciding upon the tattoo I want, I have a few steps when I'm deciding on a tattoo. And this is kind of like the main premise of this video, is that I have a tattoo that I have an idea, like I have a design in my mind, and I have the design, and I basically like I think about it for a little bit, maybe give it a week or two. I think about it. Within that 2 week period, I would have everything finalized. Like I'd be like, okay, so this is gonna be drop shadow. This is gonna be in this color. This is gonna be with this font. This is gonna be everything. I'd have like everything solidified. Like this is what I want, and I'd think about that for like 2 weeks. Sit on it, think about it, and then it has to go through the test of time, which is I imagine myself when I'm 80, and I would be thinking, will I still love this tattoo then? Of course, you can't necessarily say yes or no because you don't know what is gonna happen when you're 80, but you think about it, like, well, is this gonna be something like, but you think about it, it's like, is this just a Playboy bunny and I'm just gonna like hate it when I'm older? Like, do I really, really, really deeply love this tattoo? And am I willing to die with it on my body? More or less is what I'm thinking about. And then I think about things like what it represents about me. I think about if somebody else saw it, what would they think? I mean, tattoos are totally yours. You guys, you decide what you want, and you live with it, and everybody's happy. But you can't deny that people have opinions of people with tattoos, and so you gotta think about the public opinion of it. That could go along with when you're deciding the text. Do you want it to be legible by everybody? And I know that for my right foot, I was like, okay, I don't mind people reading it. It doesn't bother me. So I decided on a certain text. Like I was gonna go with Vivaldi, which is more like fancier, and you can't really necessarily read it unless you like take a moment and read it. But I didn't end up going for Vivaldi. I went with Monotype Cursiva, which is more legible. People can read it if they want to. But at the same time, it was like you still would have to like stop me and stare at it for a little bit to read it. But yeah, it wasn't like Vivaldi. Vivaldi was fancy as F, and so I decided to go with that. And if you want to read it, go for it. I know sometimes that's a con of deciding on fonts. You can decide on things like different languages. Even I know that I have Candle on my back, which remember back in the day, Candle was a big thing, and I was like, I wasn't part of that scene. I want to get part of that scene now. So I got Candle on my back. Everything was like a kind of a stepping stone with that one. I knew that if you got an Oriental script or a different language, you had to make sure like it doesn't say like Kung Pao chickens on your back. So I had to make sure I knew what it was, and if I was willing to represent that on my body for the end of time. So I was totally on board with that. All my tattoos follow this script. Like if you're willing to die with it, if you're willing to represent it, and that's one thing you think about with tattoos, that you're representing whatever's on your body. I think that this is all kind of a footnote of everything about tattoos because you have to deal with, well, the pain of getting a tattoo, and you have to deal with the cost of getting the tattoo. But of course, this is like asterisk next to cost. Everything else about getting a tattoo is like you have to represent it. You have to love it to the end of time, and all that kind of stuff. I think I wanted to just go off on tattoos and stuff because now would be a good time that I'm gonna start thinking about the tattoo for a long time. I am thinking about it a lot. I'm pretty set on like if I had it right now, I'd be a-okay with it. But of course, I have to wait and wait just for, I guess, insurance purposes. I don't know, to make sure like maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and not want it. I don't know. I pretty much think like if you want it now, you probably want it forever. But at the same time, if you want it now, this could be a passing phase. And of course, for me, I have all those footnotes with it. I'm good to go. I don't need any more piercings. But tattoos, I might need 2 more. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little chit chat about piercings and tattoos. I will see you guys next week. Love X Lyrics. Bye.